Okay, we're on. All right, here we go. Wait.
Welcome to PageBlast, the show that invites its audience and the fickle whims of fate to participate in the creative process. Each week your hosts, Yog and D-Man, armed only with their wits, your suggestions, and the roll of the dice will endeavour to complete for you a roughly hewn graphic narrative that is not just any random comic in PageBlast.
Okay, D-Man,
Perfect.
we're on. Welcome to the inaugural episode of PageBlast. And welcome
Indeed.
yes. Welcome
It's
to
great
the
to be
guests.
here. Here's the test. I'm with Yog, and we have Gloople Dude in our audience who's helping out with the test.
Yes,
And I
thanks,
think
Gloopy.
there's Gloopy. Yeah, he's there. He's all ready to go. And so this is a comic streaming show about how to make comics with some brainstorming. And here we clearly have a table that's going to cover the beginning of the brainstorm with a list of genres in which you, the audience, has created with us. Isn't that right, Yog? I guess it's all about collaboration these days to make things work out if things are, getting a bit difficult.
That is correct. We've decided that the creation of a story these days, when you see the stories that we get fed on TV and movies and in comic books and in print, that the criteria are so random that we might as well randomly strike some up. And
Randomize everything.
Just randomize it and see what happens. I mean,
it's always a journey, regardless, isn't it? There's always a beginning, a middle, and an end, and sometimes it could be a lot more fun if you just randomize that process and then start building upon it.
It is, and we know that writing a story, part of the fun of writing the story is the process, and when we hear other people, when you're watching a movie or a comic book or whatever, people yell out their suggestions at the screen or like to review them and say afterwards, and everyone's got great ideas of what could have been. So why not just invite everyone to actually throw those ideas out there and participate? So we've made this forum here, PageBlast, where we can do exactly that.
And it's going to be a lot of fun too, considering the process of storytelling is quite a deep and personal journey in many ways, and there's a lot of obstacles, as you know. You've most likely heard the term. What's that term again? It's when it's like writer's block is essentially what it is.
Yes, well, this way, we're actually using dice here. We're using the audience to throw out ideas, and we're even using dice, which will eliminate writer's block.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's the experiment, isn't it?
No such thing.
But of course, it's like it suggests. We are brainstorming. This is what happens in idea rooms all the time. Everyone just gets together. They come up with ideas. They start blasting their ideas out onto a page. They do it in many ways. They do it with text. They do it with, just loud voices most of the time. But in this show, with this channel that we've run, we're going to be doing it with graphic novels and comics and graphic arts in this sense, which I think is going to be 10 times more interesting. It's going to be a lot more fun. It's going to be so much opportunity for everyone to learn this process with simplicity. And Gloople Dude's already come up with some robot slime thing, so we're going to chuck that in as a test.
Hatzi, this is interesting. I cannot see his chat. I wish I could. Now, let's have a look. What can I do to see? See. Yes. There we go.
You got top chat there? Okay.
I do. I can see his chat. This is the inaugural stream. There's a little bit of
Yep.
fudging
If
going
you
on.
roll the mouse down a bit as well there, so you can see after my message that Gloop's got his little smiley, his little wow face, and then he's got his robot slime there.
Okay, it's not working.
You
for
can't.
me.
Okay, there's no roller down. All right.
No, I'm not getting any. Here we go. Something that's gone a little bit
What's
wrong.
going on? There we see
go.
how you got it there.
Yes,
Yep. Cool. So it was a
robot
roller.
slime. Robot
Yep.
slime. Well, we should actually, now we've discussed exactly what we're doing here. We should actually get stuck into the process of page blasting.
Yep.
Where,
Well, let's go straight to our genre list first before we chuck a robot slime in.
Okay, let's clear this silly sketch.
Because a robot slime's a character, in my opinion. There, I can already see it.
That is right. So let's help the people know what we're doing here. We're going to bring up a few variables. First of all, there are there's a genre. First, we pick the genre, and then we pick the
opening, the first part, essentially like a rough guide to. Well, we pick the characters.
We pick the location for
and then we'll pick the characters.
And then we pick the characters, and then
we'll work on the story.
And then we pick the genre, story arc. So here's a little list.
Genre first.
So that we've got a list. It's arbitrarily written out here first.
That's right.
Then we've got we don't need that. Then we've got
location.
Yes, we've got the genre. We've got the location and some variables that we can add to it. Suggestions will be included. And then we've got the characters, and then we've got the story arc. And you can see basically we've put some basic suggestions in here, right?
Yeah. These are suggestions just to give everyone an idea of what, you'll be collaborating with. For example, right here in the character list, we've got cop, nurse, farmer, factory worker, doctor, pilot, soldier, postman. Now, these are things that you guys could have come up with. These are things that we all came up with together, and we put them in a table so we can roll for them. And then once the outcome of the dice suggests the particular character that we want to have in our story, that's the one we're going to use, and we're not going to change that. We're just going to go with it.
So, for example, Gloop-de-Doo suggested robot slime. So
robot slime's going to go in as number 9.
Robot slime to the list. I don't know what robot slime is, so we'll
figure it out.
We'll have to consider that. And that'll be in the list, and it's already there. I can see it.
That's it.
D-Man, I think you're mostly in charge of this stuff while I do the drawings. So, shall we just go for it straight away? And
let's go for it straight away. How about shall we start with the genre?
Okay. Well, hang on a second. It's time to PageBlast. I am. Okay, so there it is. We've finished getting it organized, so let's go.
So let's go straight to our genre. There's our little widget. Sexy postman in the chibi future. Okay, Gloops.
So I have to open up our genre list. Here we go. And
okay, Gloops wants Jesus now as well, so we have to put that in. Yeah, let's chuck Jesus at number 13.
In the character list. Well,
in the characters, yeah.
But I see what's happening here. So he'll go into the character list, but now we've got to pick a genre.
Okay, Gloop decided he doesn't want Jesus anymore, so.
Well, he's in the list now.
Does he want sexy postman Jesus?
He can have. We'll deal with that down the track, but I think he might be in the list. But I can't see that, but
that's fine. That's generally the idea of what we've got here. But let's start with the genre first. Anyway, we've got that looks like a reasonable list to start with, Yog. So we've got 12, requiring a D12.
A D12. All right. Okay.
We
forgot to actually mention.
If we do two D6s, though, we'll miss out on horror. But a D12 would cover the whole list.
You can just start adding more. We can have 20, 25.
Yeah.
We can have as many ideas as we need.
Sure.
So as long as they fit on the page.
If the ideas keep coming, they're all going to make it in here, and then it gets rolled, and if it gets picked, it stays. Simple as that.
Exactly. So
because there's no point in beating around the bush trying to figure out which one of those genres we want to start with. We just want to get into it straight away.
That's right.
Story's a story. Where it's held, where it exists, is always going to be interesting if you just get it down straight away.
Okay, so delete that. I shouldn't be in the world of lists. I should be back on my drawing page. I should
Yep.
not go there. This is
Yeah, because that's like I'm seeing the lists
distraction.
now as well.
All right.
So
what have I done? I pressed the wrong button. Here we go.
yeah, that's
Genre.
the one I need to see. So
And we forgot to mention we're going to be using the roll of the dice to decide this. So, so here we have. I just switched these off, and oh no, I leave them on, and I switch this off, and now we are back to the dice.
Here are the dice. This is our dice panel. The dice will look strange. We've got traditional role-playing dice, including a couple of tokens that are two-sided, for example.
And we need. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this. This is the first time, so we're in complete random mode. I'll just switch the variables back on again.
Yep. I haven't seen that token before. That's cool.
That's like a two up.
Yeah.
So I'll just put you back on while I go and change it to how many we got? 12 in the list.
We got 12. If we can get a D12, that'll be great because it'll cover 1 to 12, obviously.
Well, I've got whatever this is. It's a 12-sided, yes. And here we go. Here's our 12-sided.
Here comes the D12. That's a D10, by the way.
Yes, well, there's two. There's another one, and you can't see it. I'll try and get them onto the screen here. See, they're both rolled off the screen. Here we go. What is it?
All right. Okay.
That's a
so what have we got there?
That's
7.
And 7.
It's a 7 all up.
Yeah. 7.
Okay.
All right.
So you got a D10 and you got a D2.
That's right.
Okay. So if they both came up as 1, then we'll never get a 1. In other words, we'll never get horror out of this list. So a D12 is imperative if we want to get number 1 happening at any case.
That's a point. I never considered this.
No, that's all right. We've been concentrating a lot on this tech to get this happening, so it's a simple one. I'm happy to miss horror.
That was a big mistake. I wonder if I can actually get a D12. That's going to happen all the time.
You've got D12s though. I thought you had the whole role play die list.
Maybe we have no 0. We have no 1s then.
One is always going to be a unit. Let's just not worry about horror. Let's just take this one. This one's 6 and 1. Okay. So it's 7. Let's jump back to the genre list.
Okay, because we do it twice, don't we? We roll twice. That's because we're crazy, and what we do is we go twice. So
we go twice for a double genre. Okay, so 7 is a thriller. It's a thriller. What? One more.
It's a thriller, and it's also.
I will laugh if it's a she-bee thriller. Let's try.
That'd
so
be
roll
funny.
this twice. Well, the variables go further now, don't they? What's that? A 7 and a
8. It's a 1.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. I think that's actually. It's not. They're lying on top of each other. So
yeah,
I can't get it working.
It's a bum die. Oh, okay, we definitely need D12s. So and we definitely got to roll them in the middle somewhere. Okay, they'll take that one. 4. 4. Yep. We'll get it.
It is.
It's a gangster. All right, so a gangster thriller. Simple.
Okay,
done.
easy.
Next, let's go. Let's go to the character.
That's solved. Great.
Gangster thriller. It is.
All right, so that's the genre. That's easy.
That's the
I'll
genre.
just write that down here.
Yep. That's a very nice font, Yog. I gather you created this font, didn't you?
Well, it's just a pen. I've made the pen. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
the pen. Sorry, I mean.
Made the pen.
Yeah,
the font is just a font. Let's have another look. Now we need. There's no sense of drawing yet until we've got a location at least. So
yeah. Well, shall we do a? Yeah. Okay. So we go to location first. Yep. So let's light up the location.
All right.
Okay.
We got any suggestions from the crowd, from the from the rabble?
The rabble at the moment have given us this. the forest, the moon, the supermarket, the factory, the caves, the desert, the village, the city, the theater, the island, the cyberspace, underwater, mountain, and variables to add with it, which you've pulled the messenger up over the top of it now, so I can't see.
Okay. All right.
Minimize that messenger for a sec.
Yes. So,
There we go. Okay. Then we got variables which will add to that location, which could be future, medieval, post-apocalyptic, utopia. Well, utopia and dystopia, I guess, and post-apoc are sort of cousins, but maybe not utopia, but we'll see how we go. This is just an example.
no worries. We haven't had any suggestions from Yog the Fool. He's suggesting.
He's suggesting Yog the Fool when Yog was mucking around with dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So these are our
Gloop,
locations.
Gloop says that the dice system needs to be absolutely worked out 100%.
Yeah, that's right. We forgot about the one. Now, that was a big oversight. I'm not experienced with this. I never played D&D.
That's pretty good so far. Okay. So far, it's pretty good. All right. So we want to roll dice now for our location. Let's just we had 13.
13.
Well, we had a D13 there, so let's just if we had a 12 and I mean, look, if we had a 10 and a D10 and a D4, and you just don't count the 4 on the D4.
Don't count the 4.
So basically, but that means we'll still lose the forest. Yeah.
All right.
So these are things that we'd have to. I guess what we can do is we could eliminate. Obviously, we eliminate the table until it fits a dice.
Yeah, well, I think one's the only one we can't have, isn't it?
We can if we had a D12, then you have it all. But you just need to have 12 options for it.
Right.
If you had 10 options, you'll need a D10.
But what if there's we go over to
there's 13? Yeah. If there's 20, you pull a D20. But if there's 13, you pull a D10 and a D4, and you don't. Well, that'll still break.
I think we just eliminate one, and then we can have whatever we want.
Well,
so what have we got here?
Yeah.
We've got. Is that a 7 and a 2?
I can't.
You can't
see the
it.
2. Yep, I can see the 2.
Well,
it's a strange die, isn't it?
Can't really. It's because
there you go. It's one.
It's cropped in. You see, this is a problem. I can't lean them over. I can't move them.
You can't throw them to the right somehow?
I can't throw them. Can I throw them?
They should be able to.
If
they were in the middle
I could
before.
Tip the table. There's no. This is crazy. What's that?
That's all right. There you go. You had it flipped then. How'd that happen? There we go.
But this one.
There's a 2. Okay, we'll take a 2 from the D2. Now we'll just get that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't see both die.
Yeah. Look, I'll accept the 2 on the D2. Now let's just flip that other one over. Don't pick the D2 up. Just pick the other one and throw that.
I can't do it. I can't
do it. Wow.
I actually wrote to the. This is a.
Hey, that's a 0. So that's a 10. A 10 and a 2. That's a 12. Okay, let's go and look at the 12.
Oh, it gets a 0. Right.
We'll work the dice out. Don't worry. It's funny. It's just funny right now, but we'll work it out. Okay, so 12 is underwater.
Mm-hmm.
A gangster thriller underwater. This is going to be interesting. And the variable. Well, okay, I guess the variable will assist it with a bit more texture.
Yep.
So let's throw let's add one more to the variable. So anyone out there wants to add one more to our variables, we're looking at pretty much something along the lines of like a genre variable. So you got future, medieval, post-apocalyptic. See, post-apocalyptic and dystopia, they're still different, but they're, the same problem. But one more would be good. Let's say, what could we do? Look, let's just put it on the moon again.
on the moon? But that's
don't
place.
put it.
How about?
That's already in the location. Sorry. Okay.
What is
how
a variable?
about a disaster variable?
Okay, that's great. That's great because that's.
Let's put a disaster in there, because underwater disaster could be Cthulhu ripping a.
It could be. It could be. There's many.
A nice big chunk out of the earth.
We could have an underwater earthquake.
Yeah.
Leading to
that creates whirlpools. Yep.
It could be.
Try that.
A discharge of methane.
Okay,
That-
Gloop
that-
suggests that everything is made out of lemons in an alternate universe.
Well, okay, everything's lemon. That's
Okay,
difficult.
alternate universe. Number 6 is alternate universe made of lemons.
Okay. Everything's made of lemons.
Everything's made of lemons in the old. That's number 6. So let's see if that rolls. It may not roll, but if it does,
Yeah.
we're going to do that.
Well, that'll be problematic. That'll be problematic.
Can you add to the variables?
That's where you are. That's you, Mr. Tight.
Oh, can I type? Can I?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. There you
okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where do I actually do that? Because I've only got access at. Oh, hang on.
go. It's in topics, I think.
It's in topics in the. Hang on. Where do I control this? In the notepad. That's right. Of course. OneNote. Of course. Here it is. Okay. So, location. This is the one, isn't it?
Yep.
No, this is a different one.
Location.
Where
That's
is
it. Variables.
I mean, there it is. Yep, excellent. Okay, just took a couple of seconds. All right, here we go.
The chaos.
Okay, so number 6 is alternate universe
Yes.
where everything is made of lemons.
No.
Okay. Made of lemons.
Can we ban that one single?
All right, let's roll the dice. Let's roll the dice and
right.
roll a d6 and laugh if it comes up 6. Okay.
Okay. Deep breath. Oh, Cintiq on.
Cintiq's on. That should pop up in a minute. I believe
There we go.
it should pop.
And what's the number we want? I forgot.
I've added it to
It's
OneNote.
5. Number 5. I want.
Oh,
5.
do I? Oh, it's not real time saving, is it?
It should do.
Because it's been about 20 seconds already, so it should have popped up.
6. It normally does it instantaneously.
Yeah,
I've got
maybe
to
I. Oh, hang on. What's this? Ribbon display. No.
There we
did
go.
this-
Alternate universe made of lemons.
Okay, so it takes about 20 odds. So we got a 20-something second delay.
Okay.
Fine.
That's a bit
Fine.
wonky.
Working though.
Made of lemons.
Well, it's come up to OBS like
I
that.
don't
but it
find
hasn't-
that idea very appealing. Okay.
What, the lemons?
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
matter.
a bad joke. I won't do it again. All right. So we have 6 suggestions.
Let's get the D6 to cover our underwater. To add to our underwater.
Can I make it
D6.
go on screen? Come
It's
on.
almost
roll.
there.
That's this is the
Why
this
isn't it
is
rolling in the middle?
this is a big problem.
It's not rolling. It rolled in the middle the other day, didn't it?
If
This
I
is
could-
very odd.
Ah,
There we go.
4.
4. Okay. All right.
I'm exhausted.
That's all right.
Okay. Hey, you know that
So
there is another
4.
option. There's this one. But
Oh, I see.
It
Yeah, if you
doesn't-
drag the
check that out.
Oh, a flippy,
That's
a spinning wheel.
yeah. This is a thing. I mean, I don't know, but
I like the dice though because they're all
The
they're all
dice is
set.
fun.
A spinny wheel would be more accurate, obviously, because it's this or that.
mhm,
Whereas a die has to be exactly the amount of
yes.
options. So
Okay.
it could work both ways. We just have to limit our options in the list. That's all.
So we got 4, which is
Got a 4, which is on our list. It is Utopia. So it's a lovely, lovely place.
phew.
So
Well, actually, that's as difficult as
well, it would be
lemons.
underwater, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a gangster thriller underwater in a
In a
utopia setting.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
So you're going to have a little bit of let's give it a shot. Let's go.
Utopia.
First panel.
Okay, well, first of all, obviously, we've got to create this utopia underwater.
Yep. Gangster thriller underwater utopia.
Well, we'll start with the utopia. We'll draw
Yep.
draw it. In fact, next time, why don't we start with the location first?
Yeah.
And then we decide. Or we c-
Oh no, genre's good and location's
The
fun.
genre-
This seems to work. Yeah. This
genre,
really does.
location. Yeah.
this is all working. I mean, we've got the basic setup now, so we can just go straight into it. So we've got this.
Now
we've got
we
this.
also need a place where we can write this stuff down
Yeah,
and
yeah.
make it recorded.
It's actually looking. It's got a good. Okay.
Yep, I just remember it. So okay, so let's I'll resize this. This is some seaweed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So first panel, we're just going to do an establisher.
Yeah, an
establish the location.
I guess this is a chasm going down into, and there'll be fish everywhere.
Cut the school there. There we go. We're getting somewhere.
And it's a utopia, so shapes.
So everything's
utopias,
pretty
everything's
neat.
Gonna be neat, because that's what utopias are like. And then there'll be something stuck on the side of here like that, and then there'll be more fish. And this is horrible. Let's get rid of that. Let's just get rid of that thing.
Just thinking about our gangster at the moment.
Yeah, you keep thinking. Well, let's think about this.
Well, we know it's a gangster. We know he's a.
Did
we know
actually
that there's
pick
an
a character
issue.
though? That we've said
Exactly. We've got the type of
gangster.
character that's going to play the role of a gangster.
But
what type of character is it? Is it going to be a sexy postman in the Shibi future? Is it going to be Jesus? What is our gangster?
Well, this will come to pass, but we know it's in a gangster setting. See, it might just be exactly. That's horrible.
That's a hammerhead shark.
It might be
that
it's not even about a gangster. He's just in a he is in a gangster story. So, I wanted to do a hammerhead, but it's just not working out. So. Okay, so this utopia, let's do a nice foreground thing here. It's underwater, so there's people living underwater.
People
Are we
living
assuming that they can swim around a bit? Are they in... I'm going to do it like some pulp thing.
Yeah. Well, Gloop's come up with a 63-year-old average Joe happy postman. Bald.
Right, that's...
Summer eyes, 2 kids...
That's specific.
Oh, he's got the whole background worked out already for this tech.
Right. Okay, so it's a utopia. Do they even eat sharks? I wonder.
Wife died a couple of years ago.
Right.
So he's got the burden of the 2 kids, so he needs to resort to some really, really nasty methods of lifestyle choices. For example, being a gangster. Is he a good gangster or a bad gangster? Because there is such a thing.
Is there? There is. Yeah, people forced into gangsterism. So it doesn't need it. Yeah. See, is it a gangster story that happens around the postman? So what is the deal with postmen? They deliver stuff. They deliver stuff. So is it going to be that he delivers the wrong thing or handles the? It's a MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin.
It's a MacGuffin.
It is a MacGuffin. So
what's a MacGuffin again?
A MacGuffin is that item in the story that everyone is following. So it's a device, the briefcase. The most common is the briefcase.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's the parcel or the letter.
Yep.
So he's delivering something. And is it a mix-up? Because that's a really common thing to happen, isn't it? Where the parcel or the letter is mixed up.
Yeah. Well, does he know, is it a mix-up? Exactly. He could be doing it on purpose because that's part of his gangster trait. Could be a gangster thing.
Or is he the gangster himself? Or
he's the gangster. Is he the gangster himself? I mean, that's the character we're looking for.
With it? Well, but we haven't picked a gangster.
We haven't picked
character. We just know it's a gangster story.
Right?
Yeah. So
that's right.
Maybe...
A gangster story that'll evidently have gangsters in it. Whether we choose the average Joe to be this, then we'll know.
Well,
shortly.
if he's a postman, he's not. That would be pretty
He may
weird.
get caught up in it.
He gets caught up in it because the briefcase the parcel that is obviously being delivered to a gangster, right?
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so he's
So we've
got
got
to
a
deliver
postman.
something, and why is it's crazy that it would be through the post, but you know.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is our. This looks kind of like a place, wouldn't it?
Mhm.
And,
Well, this is somewhere where we could obviously pop over to our story table, where we've got 12 options already, to see how we can start this. So far, we have a postman.
oh yes, the story table.
So
Story
with our
po-
postman, whether it'll unfold. There's nothing to fear here. It's all going to unfold
It's gonna be
once we
fine.
start the story. So in our story table, which we can pull up once you've completed this very beautiful looking establisher.
So this
Always
is our
the
utopia.
way-
It's a little bit. It's a corny utopia, but oh, what's that? That's a funny color.
Nice shading there. It's looking good. It's looking cool. It's looking like we're underwater.
And sufficiently utopian. All right. So now we're going to go back to the table. That's a bit weird that I've done that. I don't like that. Okay. Sorry. We're going quick here now. Quickly now. So I'll just
Right.
group all that. Yes, and we're going back to the table
Okay.
to see.
Gloops, how are we sounding on your end?
Is it echoey?
Just let us know in the text. Two, 1, 2. Well, we've got the good levels there anyway on OBS, so. Okay, it's all
right,
good.
here we go. Story arc. Oh,
Sounds good. Thanks, Gloops. Okay, let's go to our story table. Okay, D-Man's a lot louder than Yog. Okay, that's important. We got to make sure that's
okay. That is
mixing properly.
important. That is
Yep.
important.
I can see your levels as well, Yog. Just pull yourself
is
up to
that
the
better?
top again.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's going to be better. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Yog, test now.
How about this? Is that any good? I can do a little bit. Oh, where are all my filters gone? Oh my
We've
goodness.
got to build the filter tables again,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I don't think you need to
terrible.
gain. You've actually got it. I think it'll sound good now.
Okay. How about that? That should be all right.
Gloops will let us know. In a minute. That's the 20-second delay that we've got between. Heaps better. Yep. Okay, thanks, Gloops. That's all it was. I think we did this before, Yog. You had yourself on full and me on 80%.
I also put a big bunch of gain on that. So,
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
now, well, we'll have to obviously remember this. We'll snippet all this stuff anyway. So let's go to our table, our story table, to just have a good look at our 12 options that we've come up with there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are options that our audience would have come up with us.
Story arc. Why can I not see the story arc?
The story is story start, middle, end. Yep,
Yes.
there we go.
But for some reason I cannot see it here.
1, 2, 3.
Should
Okay.
be there. Variables. Okay. Ah, there we go. Sorry.
There we go. Yep. Oh, we've got an
interference. Interference. There we go.
Yep, that could have been just the load. All right, so the story, we're just going to make this as basic as possible. This is how we brainstorm all of this now. We panel it all, and in the end, it gets fleshed out to create a much more in-depth and logical journey. But for now, the best way to do this is just basic start, middle, and end theory, and we'll roll the dice to see what happens with this postman. What the situation is with this postman.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the D12 needs to come in again. Let's just ignore number 1 and pull up 2 D6s and see what comes up.
Okay, you know what? I've just made a D12.
Well, then let's get that D12 in.
And, oops. All right, so here we go. There's also a couple of, and controlling too many things.
Yeah.
All right, the D12's a black one. There it is.
There it comes.
7.
7. Perfect. Okay, 7 is war. My goodness.
Oh, goodness.
It's going to
really?
be... Oh, yeah, really.
We're
doing
okay.
it. That's the
wow.
rule. The rule is
Okay.
what the dice say goes. Otherwise, we could be back and forth. And these are things that usually can hold you back when you brainstorm. Is
Fear.
sitting around going, yeah, but when you do the rule of the dice, then
Yes.
you just move on. And
We just
believe
have
me,
to
it
do.
just
Yes.
works out better.
We just have to do it. Okay.
Yep,
So,
war
first of
it
all,
is.
I'm going to make oh well, you know what?
This is the challenge, right?
This is
It's
the
gotta be a war.
But funnily enough, this first shot should have actually
You could have established a little bit of combat in the air there, but you could do that, or this could be a very easy bit of gangster lifestyle. When there's a war, the gangsters thrive.
Oh, it's a
It's
gangster
harder to-
war. It's a
could be a
movie
gangster
because a
war.
gangster movie. So
So it's gotten serious, and this postman's caught in the middle of it.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay, so that's our excuse, and we're sticking to it. All right.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, let's try and I might resize this thing here. Resize. Did I say that out loud? I did.
No, that's good. Everything sounds good from here, but it's clear too.
Great. It's already turning out to be pretty bizarre. Okay, so
Yeah.
next frame.
All right. Okay, so you got to get the Cintiq, and then you got to click back on your blue drawing.
Oh, you're not seeing what I'm doing. Oh my
No.
goodness me.
No,
my
we're still
goodness.
stuck on the story start middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the trigger for that? You've got to hit the PageBlast workspace and Cintiq, yeah?
I gotta just hit the Cintiq button, which I
Just
did
the
not.
Cintiq button. Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. No, that's why we're testing. Right. So our establishing frames there. We want to, evidently we want to frame down to our postman at some point.
Yeah. So, I guess the thing is that it's all happening pretty quick. I guess we want to get this thing over and done with before the end of the hour. We've been
Yeah.
here for ages already. So,
That's all right.
so he's a postman. He's an underwater postman. You got to watch out for dogfish, though, don't you? If you're an underwater postman. Anyway,
Right.
no, that just happened. So here we go. How does he do this? How?
Well, let's get the postman in there.
He's.
Okay. He's got
just.
a package. He's got some kind of odd hover board that he's trying to. He's in a rush. Let's get him in a rush. We know now that this has got to do with some kind of war between gangsters.
Yep.
That's our rough playthrough at the moment. But
Yep.
this is the challenge. He has a package. He's trying to deliver it to someone. He could be getting chased at the moment.
It's just a simple package. He's going to get into the foyer of some palatial gangster mansion, isn't he?
Yeah,
Right.
that's where he's gonna get.
And when he's there, he's going to. It's going to be so what? He's going to fumble, and he's going to put the wrong package in. Did we decide who this guy was?
He's a postman. and he's delivering a package that we don't know about just yet. But he's in a hurry.
Okay, so what is he like, this postman? What is he like then? What's he like?
Luke, what ideas have you got for what? Luke said he's an average Joe.
He's an average Joe.
But he's old. He's 63 and he's bald, so he can get rid of the hair.
63. Bald.
So there we go.
And
he's got sullen eyes.
This
two
is
kids.
Yep.
He's just doing his best for the two kids. But what's a 63-year-old doing with a couple of kids? They'd be a bit older now, wouldn't they? Oh, unless it's just a late dude.
Let's put him inside. Let's just put him inside. Let's get rid of all this. Get rid of all this stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Put him inside. He's not underwater. Some kind of area. He's in one of these domes.
He's in one of the domes.
Well, this is the thing, right? You've got domes.
Yeah.
So you've established that we've got domes. So he doesn't need...
So there we go. We've put here's the fish, the outside, and he's walking through the tunnel. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Things are getting serious.
It's getting more...
Loop suggests that he has mutant kids and they live on his back.
Gloop?
I like it.
Gloop is obviously getting bored.
He is, but that's a good idea. I actually like it. I mean, I do love Total Recall, and we all know that Quaitone is very important.
I see what you mean.
We are in a utopia,
though
Total Recall was not, but we can move on and go into the utopia with very small children that have been stuck to the average Joe's Postman Joe's back.
Postman Joe has got.
Well, we don't know that yet, but let's keep it in mind. Because we don't.
Well, maybe we don't know that. Yes, we'll discover that later.
He's in his clothes.
We'll discover. We'll discover that later.
Run around showing off immediately that he's got two.
No, that'll be like his, his special power. He'll release the mutants. His own mutant self. We could. While I'm just drawing this out, we could actually, it's quite a good idea. A very silly one, I might say, gloop-de-doo, if that's okay. Unless we take it very seriously, which is always the best idea, isn't it? To take it seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that. So he's
all right, fiddling around with that too much, so he's off.
So he's no longer in a rush then?
No.
Okay.
He's gonna rock up to a door. He's gonna rock up to the next doorway, right?
One of my favourite scenes in Ed Wood was where Ed was trying to hurry Bella Lugosi to the shoot.
Oh, yes.
There's a moment where he's shooting the scene out the front of Bella's house, and he says to him, "You're in a hurry. You need to get somewhere real quick, and because you've got to get to this thing," or whatever was the situation. I can't remember exactly, but there's a moment where Bella stops and goes, "Why should I be in a hurry? Why can't I just stop and smell the budding roses and take my time?" And Ed just went, "That's a brilliant idea. Let's just shoot it." It's actually one of the most beautiful scenes in that film, and it really is a special movie, that one. But again, that was Ed brainstorming on the spot. I mean, he didn't really know what he wanted at the time, but evidently, he was just so passionate to make movies, and
it just didn't matter what it was about.
Moment for him, and I mean, it's not that the films turned out. I mean, the films turned out to be the worst films ever made, but it's not the point really in that sense, because it's just at that time, there were some very fascinating artists, and he was one of them. He was a terrible one, but he was much loved. So, and that movie was a damn good movie to show all that. Anyway,
yes,
back to the blast.
Now, what's he got? He's going to hold up. I don't know. He's got a sort of mutant kind of hand here. He's got a package, or is it a letter? Is it a letter?
Yeah, our widgets are in the way now. Well, mine is.
Oh, you are.
That's fine.
That's okay.
You can zoom in and move up, right?
I'm just looking at where he's going to hold up this little piece of paper.
Oh, yeah, he needs to know the address.
And you're right over the top. Okay, lose it. Okay, where's the... Oh my god.
Can you actually zoom in on the cells?
Yes, I can. Check this out.
That's all we need to do. Yeah, there you go. That's it. There you go. I think it'd be good to zoom in on each cell individually as we go with the flow, and then we can pull back out later to look at the final frame.
Okay. Although the resolution is suffering here.
It's actually really good on the stream.
It looks okay.
Res looks good. I got 1080p happening.
I'm going to up it here. Those old pictures will be a little bit down, but let's just go up. I wasn't counting on zooming in, so it'll look better now, I think. Okay. Although, it's
heaps good. Yeah.
Okay.
It said it's heaps good, so
Heaps
it does
good.
look good from here too.
All right, so let's actually hold up a box. We're getting slowed down by my lack of drawing abilities here. But
right.
okay,
Good.
let's hold. Let's.
Got a box. Okay,
He's
so
got a
the
box. He's got a
Right.
box. Let's just forge ahead. All right. So
For a moment there, I thought he had bionic arms.
he does.
Okay, he's got bionic arms. Done. Yep, get that little pipe happening and a bit of steampunk, maybe. Maybe not. Steampunk's very Bioshock if it's underwater and we go.
Oh yeah, we can't do that, but he does have a
We can, but we won't.
Okay. All right. So he's got a parcel. That's an incredibly long arm that he's got. That's almost.
Don't get me wrong.
It's like-
Bioshock is one of the best games ever made. That's probably why we shouldn't try and copy it.
That was a utopia too, wasn't it?
It
Initially,
was.
until it went horribly
It was
wrong.
until it became a dystopia. Yeah.
Okay. So, wrinkly old. What's his name? What's this guy's name?
Joe.
Oh, he's an average Joe. Of course.
Yeah. Joe with the package. He does
Give him
look
a
old
little
there,
bit.
yeah.
A little bit of character. He's
That's
got
the
a
trick, isn't
moustache.
it? Like, when you're drawing these characters, it's a couple of little things like that immediately highlight age of character. Just things like wrinkles and, you know, a little bit of shade and a bit of droopiness to the eyes. But with the head shape, Yog, what do we look for when we try and establish age with characters? When we draw 'em?
Well, head shape.
Shape,
I guess the nose gets bigger, the features get bigger, the ears get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with cartilage gets bigger and more plump, and the bones actually, I think they kind of shrink back a bit, don't they?
Yeah, well, they can protrude if they're not fat people, I guess.
All right, next frame. So,
All right.
we haven't really just.
Well, he's looking for the address on the box, obviously, and he's found
yep.
it, and now he knows where to go. But someone's watching him.
Oh, of course. All right.
So, cell number 4.
This is not a great layout, but this is our experimental first episode.
Yeah,
welcome,
totally.
welcome to the experimental first episode.
You whack down the cells, you give them a basic size, you think about what you're going to plump into them, and later on, it all gets refined.
Yes, we might. If these stories work out, we might finish them up. You know.
Yeah, exactly. The whole point of doing these brainstorms is to get ideas on the page, because once an image is attached to an idea, it becomes that much more visceral, and it pretty much lays out a reasonable foundation to try and create a template for your story. So this is why I think this could be a very important way to get things happening when writing stories.
Okay,
Most of the time, you sit there for weeks thinking, how am I going to start something? How am I going to do something? I mean, I've had that problem countless times, and it can get daunting.
So what I think I might do here is a rather imposing looking
Door
here.
Yeah. That hammerhead's just going to be around and everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. Well, there's a lot of them.
There is. Very territorial.
Okay, so...
And no, I don't think we should put lasers on them.
No, oh, what was... Have we seen... What was that? That's a thing.
That was Austin Powers.
Oh.
Hilarious.
Oh, okay. So someone's watching him.
From maybe another door nearby on a previous when he got walked past, perhaps.
Oh, how about this?
Yep.
Here is the tunnel that he's been walking along.
Yeah.
Here is...
So we're out. So external again.
Yes, external, yep. And there he is. I mean, I've crossed the line here, so let's flip the whole thing.
Yeah. You can zoom in.
Right, here's the thing. Yes. Oh no, it's good to see it small.
Good to have that. Yeah, okay.
It's good to see it small. All right. Then up here is someone with a spear gun, which is so powerful. It'll just go straight through that plexiglass.
Go straight through that glass.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's made of.
Yeah. Well, it's got a great big, gas bottle on it or something.
Gas there. It's got spinning turbines on it. It's one of those harpoon type things.
Yeah.
That are so powerful.
It's just let's just assume that. Okay, all right, we'll not get too carried away. And there he is down there with his package. So I'm not sure what we kind of. I've just painted us into a terrible corner here now.
No, he's it could be he could get out of this inadvertently. He could be a lucky postman.
You know why? Because he gets shot in the back.
Well,
which awakens...
That will kill his children, won't it? Because his children are hanging off his back.
But they're mutant children. Who knows what they're capable of. I mean, he's pretty old. I mean, if he's in his 60s, then his mutant children, are in their 20s. I mean, how big are they?
What a poor chap with all this baggage.
How did he get them? How did he get these children in his back?
Well, it is the future, obviously.
Well,
so anything can happen in the mutation category.
Okay, they're not like one of those twins that you can have, which people tend to digest. Those.
The children grab the spear, and they eat the spear. Okay, that's Gloop's idea.
I think we're leaving too much to Gloop. I think he's taken over. Gloop's taken over.
Yes, he has. Well, that's the idea of our audience collaborating. This is the challenge. This is the fun. This is what it's all about. Brainstorming. Because magic things come from this. They can sometimes take a while, but not necessarily.
We don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a page.
Page.
That's
all
a
right,
page.
Well, that's a good test. I think we could mark it there because it's about an hour.
It is about an hour, but we've got to actually finish what happens.
Okay.
In this moment.
Actually, it probably isn't an hour. It's an hour on since the record button was hit. But,
it's more like.
So 40, it's probably about 45 now.
Yep.
Let's assume it's at 45, and we'll just keep going.
Yep. That's a terrible picture.
All right, these kids are really tough if they're going to catch this spear and eat it.
I'm not sold on that idea. Catch the spear.
Yeah.
That is a way to beat it. I mean,
well,
how do we know this guy's a postman? He doesn't have a postman hat on.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good.
I don't know. That's terrible.
He's a traditional postman in the future dystopia. In the future utopia, where he doesn't require a GPS or a little drone bot to help him find the address. I mean, they'd be using drone bots to send things around anyway if they had to.
We don't know anything about this being gangsters. Sorry, I interrupted you then, but I've realised what's to say that anything has got to do with gangsters here.
It'll happen. It'll happen. Maybe not in the first 5 cells. Well, this is a gangster moment. Someone's trying to assassinate him.
Okay, all right.
Gangsters do that all the time.
Okay, that's good. You're right. Let's move to another page.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. Let's group all this.
This is very starting to get bleak.
I cannot. Oh, you can't group that. All right, so I'm going to now open up a new page.
Yep. Okay, I can see your settings come up. I don't know if it'll pop up on YouTube. I'll just keep an eye on it.
Yes, it will. And I'm going to just double the resolution so we can do that.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now. Oh, getting thirsty.
All right.
So
let's do this. Let's Okay, so our situation here is just being shot at. So let's cover that cell.
Well, yes,
the
that's
little
it.
mutant kids grabbing it with his back.
The thing is going to break through the and there's this is a huge scene. It's just everything's gone ballistic, isn't it? Because the postman, okay, his hat's flown off. That's the first disaster. All right.
Yeah, that is.
But really, that is a disaster. But realistically, the thing's come through. It's hit him in the back, right? Okay, it's hit him in the back. We don't know about the mutant kids just yet because it's hit him in the back. He's falling forward. He's like.
Just briefly, Yog, we have zoomed in for this one cell, right?
I can change the size of the cell.
Sure. Okay.
We're just coming up with the moment. We're just coming up with the moment. We'll work out about the cell.
It's not necessarily a scale issue that we're looking at here, where this one thing that you're drawing right now is as big as the whole page previously, right? It's still a cell.
Look,
that'll shrink down.
This is one of those occasions, though, where it's a reveal of a huge dramatic thing happening, right? So we can go full page if we really wanted to. You know, it's totally one of those things. Even though it's a terrible drawing, I'm gonna have to learn to
graphic novels.
To
they
draw
do
better.
Have that presentation, in essence. So
okay, so
the dramatic page, the big cell.
He's been shot in the back. But look,
what are we doing to this postman?
But look what's happened. Goodness. There's water flying out everywhere.
This is serious.
It's serious issues going on. This postman, he just was minding his own business, and we've got water everywhere. That's a sound effect.
That covers another subgenre, I guess.
Yep.
Could be comedy now.
Well, it would be comedy, and except for there's going to be a great big hammerhead shark in there with him any second. But
okay. Well, that hammerhead's been roaming around the whole time.
It's been lurking. I don't like that hat. Let's get that hat. I wish I hadn't.
Very serious.
I wouldn't.
It's a very epic moment. This is like disastrous for whoever designed and built this pipe, this walkway between domes. It's the alarms are about to go off here.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, the postman really copped it. I mean,
Yeah, this is bad.
what is in this? What is in this package that's so important? I wonder.
Obviously, something that's totally important to the.
Why would
to
you
these groups that are out there?
Yeah, why do they need to stop it getting to,
Wherever it's going to
that place?
that it's about.
Yeah. Why couldn't they just? Well, they knew it was coming to that doorway. That's why they couldn't.
Yeah.
They had to wait till it got there.
I think that feels established with the previous cells, with the harpoon pointing. I mean, you established the door. You established him checking the address on the package. The very next thing was a harpoon pointing at him.
Yeah, I think we can see that if we go back to page 1, undersea utopia, person with a package, person without a hat in the first shot, and then suddenly the hat has become a really big issue.
That's because it was solid. The other shots, we didn't really give it a much of a.
He looks like he does look like a Confederate soldier. Anyway,
it's old school. He's old school.
Okay, so.
Oh dear, the violence is out.
So that all works. Here we go. How's our audience putting up with this? Has anyone subscribed?
Yes, we've got a few subscribers. Thank you very much.
I didn't see any alerts, so our alert system is just,
Oh, there is an alert system, isn't there? Of course.
Yeah.
We've got to get that set.
Well, I don't know why it hasn't worked.
Yeah, there's I subscribed a bit earlier just to see what would happen with an alert thing, but nothing I noticed. So.
Okay, not too worried about how good the drawings are right at this stage. We'll just go ahead with it.
That definitely looks like there's a big hole that's cracked open in that dome. The dome, I guess, you'll make it a bit more accentuated with a couple of curves there. But
yeah, I'll just.
Is he going to survive? Well, he's going to survive because the kids are going to eat them.
I don't. Well, maybe he doesn't survive. Who said he does?
He doesn't. The kids do.
Who said he does? Who said
That's
he
how he
survives?
finds the kids.
Yeah.
He falls to the ground. We assume he's dead, and then suddenly the kids come out of his back. Have they always been able to do that? Or is it just this very?
Oh no! This is. I've got this creepy idea of what's going to happen. It's kind of a bit nasty, It's kind of like the reveal of the sort of horror, the horror of it all. What do you call it? The body horror of the postman.
Something that we drastically need right now.
Yeah, is not all we expected him to be at all. He's I'll get this quickly in place and
it's amazing how much difference shading makes.
Because this shark is just lingering.
It's getting closer, yeah.
It's lingering.
It's lingering. It's noticed. Probably give it a little bit of a notice blink around its head.
I think the whole thing's going to collapse. What do you think? The whole thing's got to collapse now, doesn't it?
Well, it'll be quite a disaster because then everything just gets washed into the ocean.
Yep.
And the package gets washed into the ocean as well.
Oh, well, that's the reason why they've done it, because they want the package.
They want the package.
They want the package,
Done.
and they can get it even though they're outside. It's a very poorly designed place, that can be harpooned.
Well, that's probably the last thing they expected was someone was going to fire a high-powered harpoon through it to shoot an old dude with a package.
Yes.
But it happened.
Some utopia.
And none of them are going to know what the hell's going on when these two mutants come out of this guy's back.
That's right. Okay, so next frame. How do I do this so it doesn't? There we go.
Oh, dear.
Now, if I can change the size of the whole lot, can I? Oh, yeah. Here we go.
There we go.
And change vector path width. Oh, jeez. That's an undo there. That's an escape. And then try again.
Fantastic.
Here we go. That's better. In fact, maybe... Oh, it's changing.
Give
I
it
see.
yeah. I'm going to scale it with the... yeah, there we go.
All right, so next thing that happens... Have you ever seen Kronos? That old Guillermo del Toro?
Guillermo del Toro's original Kronos?
Yes.
I actually confess that I have not, even though I do love del Toro, who doesn't. But that was one that his very first masterpiece that they all say. I haven't seen it. Incredible. Yes. I'm actually ashamed of that. But what happens?
Well, this is it's about an old guy, and he finds this clockwork machine that it turns him into a vampire. Basically, cut a long story short. But he's this old guy, not a young, sexy person. You know, he's an old man who could really do with some, you know, improvement in his life. You know, he's sick or whatever, and it's just there's it's quite horrible. What is horrible about it is watching this guy turn into, from a really nice person to someone who it scares himself. He's scared of himself because he starts, what happens? He goes to a posh dinner, and someone cuts themselves in the bathroom, and he finds himself licking the floor of the toilet at the posh dinner while he's dressed up all nicely, and it's just these sort of gross out moment, and it frightens him, and that's what's cool about it is just the sort of danger of becoming, this, and he gets all these vampiric superpowers as you do, you know what I mean? So there's a real conflict, because I hate vampire movies and stories normally, but there's I don't like them.
Just vampires in general, the whole mythology and the theme of them.
No, I like the old mythology of it, but just not realizing how horrible the whole thing really is, and it's the glamorization of the whole thing. I think that's what I don't like.
So things like True Blood's a bit too glamorous.
I haven't watched any of that. I can't do.
I thought it was okay. I didn't mind the True Blood series, but I do still think that Interview with the Vampire is probably one of my favorite vampire films.
Okay.
That, and of course What We Do in the Shadows, which is probably my favorite one.
Yes.
Because they've nailed that. It's comedy, but it's still pretty good.
Yes. There's a new movie by him coming out about Nazis.
Yeah, they just played that at some festival. getting mixed reviews.
Okay. All right, so I think now it's time for this to happen.
Yeah. Look at this.
I think maybe if it happens right here.
Oh dear. That's a very big... Oh, there's a hand that comes out of his back. Wow. It's a tricky one. Isn't it?
Is that weird?
That's weird, but
Is it hard to see? Is it hard to see? It's a bit hard to see.
In a situation like this, you'd do it like this, and then you'd probably do one more cell that gets
close up.
Yeah, and I think that could cover it. Now, obviously, with comics, and graphic novels, it is important not to overdo cells to try and emphasize any kind of camera move, right? Is that how you'd look at it, Yog?
Yes. You do want to keep it to a minimum.
Unless it's something absolutely visually important. If you're trying to emphasize on, for example, you know, if a nuclear missile is flying through the air and it's going to hit a city, like how many of those do you need if you want to dramatize it? You know, like you've got it flying through the air and then you've got it getting closer and closer, and that's like 4 cells before it hits to make it more dramatic. Or just is it the whole purpose of let's just get it over and done with to try and show that it's there? You know, like we'll do 1 cell of it flying, another cell of it hitting. Is it going to be the same effect as, for example, a few cells trying to...
It depends on how important you want the passage of time to be.
Yes.
So if it can be like a case of the moment to moment thing might be you really want to examine that passage of time, like say if someone's expression going from happy to sad is actually a big deal. I don't know why that didn't change that.
Is it meant to lock in when you do the resizing?
Yes, well it did for the others. Something's gone strange.
Okay.
I'll just have to do it separately.
Yeah, just do it separately. It's fine.
Yeah, so if that's a really big deal, then it's a big deal. You draw attention to it, but you don't want to get hung up on the passage of every moment, because then you're in trouble and you lose pacing. So
yeah,
here we go. That's strange enough, I think. Oh,
yeah.
I haven't been watching what you can see. So,
I can see. I'm seeing you draw it and resizing and stuff. It's all good here, and on YouTube, it's all good. And Gloop's in his Jimmy Jams, and he's saying, I believe he's saying it's looking good.
Good. All right. Gloop's in his Jim Jams. That's too much information.
Well, it's being comfortable is important when you're
concentrating. It is, and it's nice to have It's nice to have him watching. Okay, new page. I think this.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wrap it up on this page. You know that.
Yeah. Yep. That for me looks like a hand coming out of someone's back and grabbing the harpoon out of it.
That's what's happening.
Really nice. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened there.
Okay, Gloop saying that his Jimmy Jam's a term of phrase. He's quite pleasantly.
Oh, not literally Jimmy Jams, metaphorical.
Like me, Jimmy's good feelings are gone.
Metaphorical Jimmy Jams.
Metaphorical Jimmy Jams. Yeah, metaphors are important.
They are.
They can be very powerful if done right.
Well, maybe this should be a metaphor. Okay. So
right,
now
let's get this final selling, shall we, and then wrap it up?
Well, I think we're going to need 2 cells here.
2. Yep. Okay.
Yep. one here of as you're saying, if we want to really draw attention to a moment that's happening, then out of this body erupts the children.
Yeah, so we can see what they look like now.
What are they? Can we ask the audience?
Audience, what do they look like?
I'm just drawing stuff now, but we don't really know. Oh, hang on, I've got tentacles coming.
Gloops, you're a funny chap. So that... Ooh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, this is kind of a bit creepy, isn't it? It's kind of a bit creepy.
That's all right. Keep it going.
I guess there'll be fish all around them as well now too.
In changing pages,
yeah,
in a graphic novel or comic, when it comes to reveals, quote unquote, hence, like in horror, obviously it means you see the ghost or you see it's important to get those reveals right for maximum effect. In this situation, we've got something quite in the vein of horror here, where you've got these two mutants coming out of the back, this guy's back. That's horror in that essence, and it's a reveal. And for it to appear on a brand new page is always better than for it to appear, say, in the same page of something.
That is right. That is right.
It makes this is a way a graphic novel reveals. It hides it in pages, so it's always good to plan those steps so it doesn't I have read many comics where they don't do that right, especially horror comics. Funny enough, like I'd turn a page and then suddenly I'd have something normal on the first half of the page, and then at the bottom of that there'd be a cell that would just sneak into my vision at some point to show that reveal, and it would kind of ruin the effect for me.
Yes, right. Well, we did do a hint before. I mean, this was meant to be a thriller, and I think I've gone too far with that.
It's still a thriller. Why not? I mean, we don't know how far it's going to go, right? I mean, it's thriller, it's gangster, it's war. It's going to be it's a
we forgot the war, but okay, but it's a gangster war.
The war
it's a gangster war.
Look at them. They're nasty. They're evil. But we did have that idea of yours earlier with the package that's just going to flow out of this place for the harpoon guy to catch and grab and snatch and grab, basically. Because now at this stage the water's piling up in this pipe.
Yes, I'm thinking that the water has actually. I think the water's already full here.
Ah, okay. Yeah. We don't. That's another time thing, isn't it? We've already established that water's been bursting into this place.
Yes, on the last page, I should have maybe done more to make this water. It's a case of just drawing too quickly and not really establishing that this water is really flowing in here. I know.
Oh, this Luke's back. He said his computer died.
Oh,
probably because he said he was naked.
Right. That'll happen.
But yes, you haven't missed much. We're still here. We're covering the fact that the place is flooded at this point, and we're about to reveal what these kids look like. These mutant kids. It always sucks when your computer dies. I don't like it when mine dies. It happens every now and then. Those intermittent deaths of technology. Goodness. Okay,
we got fish in here. I think that sort of kind of tells us that they might be flowing in with. So we've got a few different things happening here. I don't know if this story is going to make it to the to the printed version.
No.
Well, it is. It's a little bit random, but it is our first attempt. We will learn from this, and get better.
Well, I'm intrigued. There's no doubt about it. I want to know what these things are now. I want to know what we're going to do with them down the track. You know, like if to go into this area of idea blasting, it's there's no shortage of moments of fascination. Like the pictures are so powerful, and they can truly assist in your storytelling. They guide, they're aids, but they're also just wonderful. I love them.
Cool.
Now what's that one doing in the background there?
I don't know. Well, it's water. It's all underwater. It's underwater. But it's underwater.
Good.
They're coming out of the postie.
Yeah. So they're very serpenty.
Yes, let's make them even more serpenty. Here we go. Can we see that that's the postman?
Well, my widget's.
Your widget's over the top of him. I had a shortcut to make him go away, but
I can just pop around the screen. That'll be cool to flip him around.
It's just. Oh no! It's a disaster. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
Well,
so let's go for another frame, and we've got to decide really.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna I think a small frame of the gangster who fired the weapon,
collecting the package that's come out.
Well, of
stealing it,
freaking out, really.
Well, yeah, freaking out. But does he have that package, or is he just going to give up on it after seeing this?
Right, forgot about the package. That was
that's
important.
Cool. Package, I think he should actually snatch the package and just absolutely bolt out of there with his, he's got one of those underwater jetpack things that gets him away. He's a professional assassin, so he's got all kinds of cool gadgets.
True, but was he expecting?
Underwater.
But was he expecting mutant children?
He was not expecting this. I don't think anyone was expecting this.
Gloop was expecting this.
Gloop threw it in. That's the brainstorm.
Yes.
Look what's ended up happening.
And it was because of his super chat that got him in. Any normal suggestion like this might have been ignored. Let's face it. No. There will be so many. I'm not sure. What are we going to do? We've got the dice, don't we?
We do.
So
we can roll for. We can pull up the beginning, middle, end beat now, and just pull up another die roll on it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's true. I'm going to just do the gangster here.
Yep.
And I'm going to do him looking kind of surprised. If I can remember how to draw. So
once we can do things like this where it's all about experimenting, isn't it? I mean,
yep.
You've got this. So the cell you're drawing now is what again?
This is the gangster with the firearm.
Yep, with the harpoon.
The harpoon guy
thing that's all obviously empty now. Has he got another harpoon that he's going to set up, or is he going to go straight for this package and steal it, or? Because he sees it floating out of this thing that's just collapsed that he's made an absolute disaster of.
Well, hang on. I think he's just looking completely horrified at what's just happened.
At what he's seen. Yeah. Okay, that's this cell. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, what we're doing. Oh, and you know what?
Yeah.
The tentacles are coming into the shot already, and so we can wrap it up really quickly if we do it this way.
Yep.
We've got some monstrous thing that came out of the postman's back. I don't know if anyone's following what's going on here, because it's pretty random. Yep. Okay, and then let's go for another frame now. I know this is a scruffy drawing, but that's what we're doing here. Another frame, and we might be able to wrap it up.
Yep.
In one more drawing after this. So can we end it up with a joke? I know what the joke is. Yes, I know what the joke is. Because no, I don't. I thought the monster might give him the package, but then he's not delivering it to this guy, is he? He's no.
I think he steals it and just bolts out of there, and these creatures go after him, and that's for another day.
Okay.
That could be done in 2 cells,
or
2 small cells,
or the creature eats the man, kills the man, attacks the man, and the parcel gets picked up by the person who goes back in, by the kingpin. Okay,
by like an accomplice of this assassin.
No, by the person who was meant to get the thing in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
Because this
probably come out and gone, why is there water everywhere? Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Because the postman.
What the hell just happened here?
The postman will always get the job done. You know.
Yeah.
That's the he's done his very best. You know.
That's his adventure right there.
So then we got the Godfather here, who is also bald. He's looking quite pleased, right?
He's got his package, and now he doesn't care what the hell just happened. He's wearing his he knew that there was going to be a he somehow realized that the entire hallway is now an ocean, so he's got his helmet.
He knew this was going to happen. He suspected all along. And what does it say on the packet? Let's
cigars. Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to get things that burn in the utopia underwater. And so one more frame, just for the joy of the it's this guy getting completely mauled by the shark monster from the guy's back. The shark monsters.
Yeah.
Shark monster men. That's what they were. I only just worked it out. They're shark monster men.
Monster men?
Yeah. Let's go back to this frame.
If
I go back to this frame, and then I can actually do this a bit more.
I kind of liked his face already, how it was.
Oh, okay. Oopsie.
That gave a reasonable hint. The teeth were there. do another one. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Sinister.
Yeah, that's a little bit more creepy. And and back to this drawing. And black. And I think we've actually told the story. I don't believe it. We made it through.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well done. Well,
It happened.
It's a great way to bring up these ideas into art form like this. So it's immortalized now. Whatever happens, happens. We've got an idea.
We might
2
not.
pages.
Yes, that's it. That's the story of the gangster and the postman in the underwater.
Gangster obviously just doesn't care.
The underwater utopia.
I guess the things that we didn't cover is the war, but that happens later. Should we have continued to keep going with it?
Well,
But the main thing is
yes,
that this is an idea that's just exploded onto a page or 2 in the form of like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cells, I think. 8 cells.
we've got 3 pages. That was the 3-page challenge. I think we never really said that it was going to be 3 pages, but 3 pages is a good number. Here we have.
Is, yeah.
Let's go back through it. Let's do a couple of little fix-ups on the way, because that should be
Sure.
black frame. And that should be a black frame. Okay. And just great. Zoom it to the right size. So we have the utopia, the postie.
Posty checks the dress. Someone's got their eye on him with a harpoon.
Harpoon goes bang. Postie and
Cops
his hat. Postie and his hat. What happens to his hat all the time? There's a problem. He's got a problem with this hat.
Yeah, there it is. Boom.
And then, strangely and weirdly, out of his back. This is a kind of a hard shot to see what's going on. Maybe I do this.
Probably darken the hand a bit too, because you had it pretty sharp and dark and evil in the next cell.
Right, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
There we go. So it still looks like a hand. Yeah.
And then if I use this colour to cut it down.
To give a few fingers in there, yeah.
It's a bit dodgy, but there we go.
It's a challenge.
All right, so
That's what it's about.
yeah.
So we got that for page 2.
And then page 3. Finally, page 3. What happened there?
Those things come out.
Something happened. I've never seen that happen before. Here we go.
Okay, you've got a bit of double framing going and triple paging and
there
all
we go.
kinds of.
Yes.
There we go.
The monsters come out of the old guy's back. They swim up to the you know what? We should have some speech bubbles in here.
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's make this feel a little bit.
At this point, I mean, he's on his own. He's got no one to talk to, really. He can have thought bubbles.
Yes. Well, what's he going to say, though? Delivery for the kingpin.
Yep.
Cigars?
Cigars was what was on the box, yeah.
I haven't really left much room for these speech bubbles, and that's a big no-no, but here we go.
It was something that we didn't plan for as we were storming it, so... Blasting it, I should say.
And that should be right on the top. Right on the top, I said, to the thing. And he says, cigars. Let's choose the font is going to be
Cigars. Special delivery. Cigars. Okay. How's it going there, Gloop? You can see all this still?
Was this terribly boring for you, Gloopy? Special delivery. All right, that makes some sort of sense, I think. So how they're just putting that in. Let's copy V and paste that one, and I'm just going to go
Yeah. Okay, Gloop says very entertaining, and he had some belly laughs, so that's good.
Oh, good.
I'm sure we'll keep up that.
Now this was meant to be. Oh dear.
There's some strange speech bubble action happening there. You got that? I think you got it in a vertical. Yeah.
So it's just the size of that.
Okay,
was just
okay.
just somehow way too big.
Right.
Here we go. I think, as they say. But let's leave it as that. I want to put a thing, just
cool.
Get bogged down in too much detail.
Yeah.
And then there we go. I think of what the. Just a final little what the.
From our assassin.
Yes, and then we can call it a day.
Yeah, definitely. Great. Well, this is brainstorming. This is how it works. We're page blasting, and we did a good test, I believe.
Well, I've seen people do
a reasonable test.
I've seen people do comics in a day and in 5 hours, but this is live. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue experimenting until we nail it. Oh, that's a funny little pointer. There we go.
And a quick what the?
Yep.
Why does that font go so huge all the time? But
Let's put an exclamation mark for the what the. Maybe get rid of the E so it's what it gets munched.
Good suggestion.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like cut out half sentence before it gets torn up by these ridiculous hammerhead demon children.
Knew those hammerheads were going to be but it was a different hammerhead than I thought was going to be the problem. But there you go. Do we know it's the right guy though? I've put the thing, done the classic no. I put the bubble over the top of
the
information.
Yeah, over the top of the object that was part of that character. So yeah, we got to keep that clear. Yeah, and then just spin the pointer around. Yeah.
Very good.
I think you can just grab the end of the pointer, can't you, and just flip. Oh, there we go. Nice.
I think we might need another. Oops. Wind that down. And copy, and I'll just put it on the very top here.
Yeah.
Oops. I think I'm working at the wrong resolution here. All right.
Okay.
Oh, what the? I saw my operating system. Excuse me. I'm so embarrassed. Just to copy that one.
Okay. So that needs to got to work on that. I think the speech bubble speeding. It should be just bang bang.
Great. All right.
That's a big font as well, obviously.
For some reason, it's getting. Yep. Oh, we made it. We made it, D-Man. We made it through.
Yeah. Oh. This poor,
Well, I didn't know that we were
Joe.
actually even going to do this at all. If we were going to even.
Yeah, it's quite it's just a way to get through it is just to experiment it until it's perfect. So yeah, it's good. I think it's turned out fine. We got the flow happening. I suppose it's taken a bit longer than I thought, but obviously because we're still
8:30. It's been what, an hour and a quarter.
Which is about an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half.
Right. Okay.
So it's got to get it to an hour.
Yeah.
Which
we did have a bit of an
an
intro. We did have a bit of an intro thing, and these things they do go over. I mean, it's not too bad. And all right, so that's it. That's it. That was PageBlast. We did it.
Thank you. Back.
Yes, and we'll be back next week. Same time.
Same time.
Well,
Same
maybe
channel.
a little bit. We'll make it. Shall we make it 6 o'clock or 6:30?
6 is good.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
The checks will
Signing
be in the
out.
mail. Bye.